I made my first drip cake in 2016 and I thought this was perfect. Boy, was I wrong. It's taken me a lot of practice and trial and error to perfect my drip technique. And in this video, I'm sharing my top tips for avoiding pitfalls and achieving the perfect drip for your next cake. First, you always want to start with a cake that has sharp edges. I iced my cake using the upside down method and this is how it turned out. Next, you'll want to make sure that the icing is set. Placing this cake into the refrigerator has caused the buttercream to harden enough for me to touch the cake without damaging it. Now let's talk about our dripping medium. The first option is chocolate ganache made from chocolate and boiling heavy whipping cream whisked until smooth. Another option is to create water ganache by melting candy coating and gradually stirring in water until it's nice and smooth. Using candy coating by itself is possible, however, it tends to thicken fast. Adding water allows for more working time. I learned about this type of ganache from Liz of Sugar Geek Show, and I've linked her video below. Next, let's look at applying the drips. First off, avoid using a spoon for this technique. You'll want to use a container that supplies a steady stream of ganache, like a plastic condiment bottle or like this one specifically for decorating with candy coating and chocolate. Simply pour in the ganache and apply the top. If you don't have a bottle, a piping bag can be used instead. Just fill the bag with the ganache and cut the end straight across with a pair of scissors. Now time to get started. The key to a perfect drip is control. If the ganache is too thin, it will run straight to the bottom. You don't want the ganache to pool in huge globs at the base of your cake like this. Ganache that's way too thin can also appear like this. See the difference? Before dripping onto your cake, test your drips on the side of a tall glass or cup. If your drips are too thin, wait about 5 minutes and try to drip again. You'll want the drips to eventually stop falling after a few seconds. I'm adding drips to this cake using the water ganache in a decorating bag. If I want longer drips, I keep my bag in one position a little longer. If I want shorter drips, I move along a little quicker. I'm adding these drips in real time so that you get an idea of how long this takes. This portion of the video has not been sped up or slowed down. My buttercream being slightly cool helps to slow down the drips as they travel down the side of my cake. Drips are thinner. Chunkier drips can be achieved by using the plastic bottle or simply cutting a larger hole at the end of the decorating bag. I had a couple of drips pool at the bottom of the cake, but that's not an issue. I think this adds a little bit of character to the cake. The next step is to cover the top of the cake with ganache. I start by cutting a larger hole at the end of my bag and pouring the ganache onto the center of my cake. The ganache should melt into itself and not be too thick. Next, I used an angled spatula to smooth the ganache from the center to the very edge, avoiding going over the edge. Another perfect drip cake completed. Check the description for video links on how I make chocolate ganache and how I ice my cakes upside down for super sharp edges. If you want to learn more about cake decorating, subscribe to my channel for more tips and tutorials. Be sure to give this video a like and share it if it was helpful. As always, thanks for watching.